G'day guys and girls, MB-EX-7 is a rough one, or at least I've always found it to be a rough one. I hate this one, especially on challenge mode. Challenge mode makes a hard situation worse by reducing defense greatly. Yeah, there's no simple way to this map. This map sucks. Alright, so I'm using Scavenger in Texas. Most people have unlocked Texas by now. Texas with skill 2. Scavenger is my other choice. You can use Courier, but you need to stagger the Vanguards so that Texas can help attack if you do use Courier. My two defenders are going to be Quora and Bubble, two who have fairly good defensive skills. Obviously, we have no defense, so you need to boost that up as much as humanly possible. Backing them up, I'm going to have Lapland and Iascarp. Now, I understand that a lot of people probably don't have one or the other. You can get away with using the 4 stars, but it makes your life well harder than it needs to be. Honestly, I'd probably suggest going up to even Silver Ash or Thorns if you guys have them. I would probably avoid using Arene, although you could use Arene with skill 1, cannot block enemies, because Arene won't actually be blocking enemies. Or alternatively use Cliff Heart. Probably with skill 2 would be best, just because she throws attacks fairly solidly with that. You can also use sort of like reserve ones, so like Palace. If you've got her... him. I haven't actually looked what Palace is. I'm not sure. I think it might be a him. But that's about it, really, because I don't think that Whistlasher's backup will help too much, because it's like increases defense by a percentage. You've got no defense, so I mean, good luck to you. A good pusher, whatever your best pusher is with skill 2. My best pusher being F-Eater. A lot of people might only have Shaw. Either way, it's skill 2. You will specifically need Rope, because Rope is the only puller that has the range. So Rope with skill 2. Suzero with skill 2, because you'll need that burst healing. And I'm using Telopsis with skill 1. You can use skill 2. But I find that Telopsis is really the only AoE healer that can keep up. And also has the backup healing. Single target healers are a little bit harder to use. Basically because towards the end you're going to be taking a lot of damage, and single target healers tend to overlap in that situation. So I find it best to use a solid AoEer and a solid single target. A tanky fast redeploy, so I'm using Gravel just in case things go awry, and we're going to be using or borrowing somebody's Yap Yellow with skill 3. Now, timing is everything on this map, so yeah, I can't emphasize that enough. If this helps you out though, guys, please leave a sub, because it helps me out a bunch. But, here we go. I'm going to be deploying Scavenger first, and then I'm going to be deploying Texas. If you are using these two, I would suggest this is the order you deploy them in. And after that, we're going to deploy our healers. I'm going to deploy Telopsis first because of her talent. So Telopsis first, facing up. And Suzero facing down. After this, we're going to pop in Rope to start charging her skill. It'll be long ready, but we want to make sure. Alright, after this we're going to go for our pusher. So our pusher here, facing up towards this hole. Cycle those skills whenever they're ready. Now, Lapland on the bottom. And your other one on the top. Super important. Once they get to that edge, you can pull them in. And what's going to happen now is these two guys are going to come along as well as this big fella. And we're just going to shove these guys into the hole. We're also just going to wait for this guy. So what we're going to do is wait until this guy gets in. Make sure this guy's in as well, and then stun and push. I'm not too fussed about losing. I would have preferred not to, but it is what it is. So what we're going to do is we're going to let Texas have a couple of hits, pull her out. Make sure that Lapland can hit this guy, and then deploy your tank. Ice Scarf skill. And as soon as everything breaks, hit both Floodlights. Watch again, the 2 archers, you will lose that top light, don't worry about it. Pull them both. Rope's done. Yakyala in facing down. Wait for all of these guys to come through. And if you find yourself losing your defenders, as you can see, mine are perfectly okay, but if you find yourself losing them, shove into the hole. I don't care, I'm not losing anybody, I'm just going to let this play itself out. So now, we are just slowly waiting. So now this is where things get super complicated because the whole lot is just going to go into the fucking floor on you. So what's going to happen, this guy's going to hit a couple of times, and once these guys level up straight, then we're going to use Bubble skill, shove them into the hole, wait for people to push up, use that skill so you get both of them. Pora's skill, don't even risk it. Pop all of your healer skills as well as Yakyala's skill here. Wait until this guy gets in, shove. And that's it, guys. So right at the end, there's a lot going on, but I hope that helps. Just remember to make sure you've got your timing down pat and you should be fine.